watching Shalom World News. I'm David Kerr from Lansing in Michigan, and these are your latest news headlines from around the world. Pope Francis has renewed his call for weapons to be silenced in the present conflict between Israel and Hamas in the Holy Land. Speaking during his Sunday Angelus address, the Holy Father appealed for humanitarian aid for those who are suffering most due to the conflict and for the release of an estimated 200 Israeli hostages currently being held by Hamas. He also called for a day of fasting, prayer and penance to take place on Friday, October the 27th, with a special holy hour for world peace to take place at 6 p.m. on that day at St. Peter's Basilica in Rome. Elsewhere, the Latin Patriarch of Jerusalem, Cardinal Pier Battista Pizziballa, has expressed his closeness to the Greek Orthodox Patriarch of Jerusalem, Theophilus III, following an airstrike near the Greek Orthodox Church of St. Porphyrius in Gaza, which killed at least 18 people. A new law preventing children under 16 from changing their names or pronouns at school without receiving parental consent has come into effect in the Canadian province of Saskatchewan. The legislation was passed on Friday by the centre-right Saskatchewan Party government. Premier Scott Moe says the new law opens up the rights for parents to be involved in their child's education and their child's life. Police in Michigan are still searching for a culprit and a possible motive in the killing of a local synagogue leader in the city of Detroit. 40-year-old Samantha Wall was found stabbed to death near her home in the city's Lafayette Park neighbourhood on Saturday morning. City Police Chief James White says that there is no evidence surfacing so far to suggest that the killing was motivated by anti-Semitism. Latest figures show that there are now 1.4 billion Catholics in the world. That represents an overall increase of 16.2 million Catholics compared to the end of 2020, although there has been a decline in the number of bishops, priests and religious. The figures have been published by the Vatican's Fides news agency. They compare data from December the 31st, 2021 with the previous year, December the 31st, 2020. They show that Catholics make up 18% of the world's population. The Americas and Africa saw the largest growth in the numbers of Catholics, while Europe showed a decline. Thousands of youngsters from across India are gathering in the southern city of Bengaluru to take part in a 4-day Catholic Youth Festival. The Jago Jesus Youth National Conference India 2023 will welcome over 17,000 Catholics from across India. The purpose of the event, say organisers, is to wake up and reach out as missionaries who proclaim the good news and spread the love of Christ. Jesus Youth is an international Catholic movement with a charismatic spirituality.
The 4-day conference, which commenced on October 21, is currently in full swing at Christ, deemed to be University in Bangalore, along with various venues in the surrounding areas. This dynamic event has drawn over 1,500 families, including children, youth, religious sisters, priests, bishops, and cardinals. The conference brings together participants who are thoroughly enjoying the lively musical nights, engaging seminars, challenging workshops, and captivating exhibitions. The faithful are also actively immersing themselves in sharing testimonies, Eucharistic celebrations, and the adoration of the Blessed Sacrament. The event is inaugurated by the Archbishop of Bangalore, Reverend Dr. Peter Machado. The conference has also received a special blessing from Pope Francis through a video message. The Holy Father's words encourage young people to persist and stay active in their faith journey by following Jesus. The Counselor of the Apostolic Nunciature to India and Nepal, Bishop Juan Pablo Cirillos Hernandez, also delivered an inspiring message to the youth in attendance. With the event, India is witnessing one of the largest youth gatherings. Beyond its size, this conference is marketed as a memorable and transformative experience, serving as a powerful platform for evangelization. News Desk, SW News.
A new report suggests that Chinese Christian communities are the fastest growing Christian denominations in the United Kingdom. The study by the Bible Society found that Chinese Christian groups have seen a rise of 29% in membership over the past 2 years. In total, an estimated 115,000 Chinese Christians are now attending 201 different churches and Christian communities in Britain. Congregations speaking Cantonese are predominantly experiencing most growth, says the report, with migrants from Hong Kong the primary cause of that growth. 3 members of a Benedictine community have been abducted from a monastery in Nigeria. The attack took place on October the 17th in the Aruku region in the north-central state of Kwara. It is thought to have been carried out by the Islamist Fulani herdsman group. Brother Edwin Edze and 2 postulants, Anthony Edze and Peter Olariwaju, have been identified as those abducted. This latest abduction comes only a day after the release of 3 nuns who were abducted in the southeast state of Ebonyi. An English bishop says he fears that the institution of marriage is not merely in cataclysmic decline in England, but is at risk of being entirely eliminated. Bishop Mark Davies of Shrewsbury was speaking during the diocese annual Mass in celebration of marriage held at St Columba's Church in Chester last week. Bishop Davies reminded the couples present who are celebrating wedding anniversaries that the institution of marriage has existed since the beginning of human culture and is ingrained in the very nature of man and woman. He also reminded people that marriage is a vocation which has been elevated to the level of a sacrament by Jesus Christ. The University of Notre Dame in Indiana has been playing host to a 3-day meeting between representatives of the US bishops and leaders of the Pentecostal movement in the US. The summit took place from September the 27th to September the 29th. Senior leaders from the Pentecostal Charismatic Churches of North America organisation and the United States Conference of Catholic Bishops attended the conference, which was organised by the University's Office of Mission Engagement and Church Affairs. This meeting was a continuation of a theological dialogue which began in 2021 and was reconvened in 2022. Finally, a holy year commemorating the 1500th anniversary of the Martyrs of Arabia begins this Tuesday. The year-long celebration is a joint endeavour between the Church's Apostolic Vicariate of Northern Arabia and the Apostolic Vicariate of Southern Arabia. It recalls the execution of St. Arathis and companions in the 6th century during a persecution of Christians by the Jewish king Du-Nawaz. The organisers of the Holy Year say that they hope it will be a reminder of the region's rich Christian heritage and an appeal for a revival of the Catholic faith in the Arabian Peninsula, which is already home to around 2.5 million Catholics. The beginning of the Holy Year will see holy doors open in the cathedrals in Kuwait and Bahrain Cathedral. The Holy Year will run until the 23rd of October 2024. Well, that's your latest headlines for now. Do join us for more tomorrow. You can also join us at swnews.org for news updates. Shalom.